Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
Hello, my name is Franky Marshall, and I am a bartender from New York City, and I was the winner of the Tales of the Cocktail Cognac competition for cocktail apprentices. And you can feel free to look at my recipe online, download it, make it yourself, and also connect with me on Facebook at Ms. Franky. Thank you.
Welcome to Wine and Dine Radio. I'm Lynn Creelo-Chamberlain.
Hi there, this is Andreas Larsson.
Hi, this is John Capon.
My name is Madhur Jaffrey.
Hi, my name is Heike Blatter. I'm from the Alto Adige region, or Südtirol.
Hi, my name is Paul Dolan. I am absolutely passionate about growing organic and biodynamic fruit for our wines.
Hello, my name is Lorena Garcia.
Hello, my name is Fritz Maytag.
This is Joyce Locke. I'm the author of Foodie Fight.
Hi, this is Lydia Mandave, founder of 29 Cosmetics.
Cheers, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect.
It has been decided that Miss Franky Marshall, bartender from New York City, has been selected as the winner of the Cognac cocktail competition for Tales of the Cocktail Apprentices. The Bureau National Interprofessionnel de Cognac, BNIC, challenged the cocktail apprentices to create a cocktail that appealed to female audiences. Franky Marshall won the competition with a signature drink that she calls She's Gotta Have It. Joining us today from On Wine and Dine is Franky Marshall, and She's Gotta Have It. Let me tell you, I love anything rosé. And so tell us, how did you come, first of all, how did you learn about this competition, and why was this something you wanted to get involved with?
Oh, well, hello. Well, first of all, the competition was for, as you said, and this is a mouthful, the Tales of the Cocktail Apprentices. And basically, briefly, what those are is, Tales of the Cocktail is a cocktail event that happens every year in New Orleans. So to help, effectuate the conference, they have the apprentices who basically make all the batches for the seminars, cut garnishes, serve all the drinks. So that's what the apprentices do. So you work for 1 week, and you just do that nonstop all day. So they, as a kind of thank you, because you don't get paid for that, so as a kind of thank you, this was one of the things that they offered this competition. So that's why I entered. I'd been an apprentice for 3 years in a row, 2009, 10, and 11. And so that's how I found out about it. And that's why I wanted to enter, because I entered last year with, obviously I didn't win last year, but I wanted to redeem myself and do it one more time.
I interviewed Ann Tunerman a couple months ago, and I've been aware of Tales of the Cocktail for a couple years now, and it is really where all the movers and shakers in the cocktail industry end up being.
Absolutely. It's grown so much. I mean, it literally brings, I think the numbers now are close to 20,000 people to New Orleans every year. Yeah, and it's not just about, drinking. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of education involved. There's, people talking about how to make bitters and, distilling and, the latest cutting-edge technology. So it is very interesting. And for the apprentices also, it's a great way for people to, network within the industry, but, hone some skills as well.
Okay, so Cognac. Is Cognac something that you like and you like to work with, or is this something, is it, like familiar territory to you, or is this something that you're kind of experimenting with and wanting to learn more about in the future?
Well, Cognac is definitely a spirit that I love to drink, and that was the first thing that, also drew me to working with it as well. So I love to sip it. And I also love, people think of Cognac as just sipping after dinner, but it is very, very versatile. So, working with cocktails obviously is not something, even though it goes back to a few classics, Prohibition era, like Sidecars and Brandy Cresta, even earlier, a lot of people don't always associate Cognac in cocktails. So that's also why it was a challenge and something that I wanted to take on.
It seems like the interviews I've done in the last year that there is, and I'm not a spirit expert by any means, but I'm kind of getting this drift that people are using Cognac more in cocktails than they did 5, 10, 15 years ago, at least in the United States.
Absolutely they are. Because, and not just in the United States, but in the cocktail centers like London and Paris and Berlin and placed in Spain. I mean, because listen, you really at the end of the day only have so many spirits to work with. So when you turn around to that back bar, of course there's the gin cocktails and the rye cocktails, which are great as well. But you want to branch out and bring in, as I said, other elements that people don't always, expect.
Right. Okay, so tell us about. First of all, give us this. The ingredients of She's Gotta Have It, and then how did you come about putting together this combination? Right.
Okay. Well, it has the cognac I chose for this was a Louis Royer 453 VSOP cognac, and then it has rosé wine syrup, crème de pêche, which is a peach liqueur, fresh lemon juice, always freshly squeezed, and then a sparkling rosé wine. So basically, as you mentioned earlier, this cocktail was to, the challenge was a cocktail that would appeal to women, a female audience.
Yeah.
So, and like you said earlier, you love rosé. I mean, I thought, what do women really like to drink? And, not generalizing, but a lot of women do love wine.
Yeah.
And so I thought, all right, well, pink wine, women, why? It's got to work. So I decided to incorporate the wine in two forms, as I said, as a syrup. So you've got this, I made like a heavy syrup of rosé wine, and then there's also the sparkling wine as well. But that's balanced out by the lemon juice and the higher proof cognac. So it's served over crushed ice, over pebble ice, and then garnished with a couple of mint leaves and fresh strawberry pieces. So it's aesthetically it's pleasing, and then the taste, well. Maybe I'll make it for you sometime. You can judge for yourself. But I think it turned out fairly well.
You are particularly particular about your form of ice.
Yes, you have to be. I mean, it always factors into the kind of inner dialogue you have when you're creating a cocktail. And just for practical reasons, too. I mean, certain cocktails won't work over certain types of ice, and I chose the pebble ice partially because, as I said, aesthetically, it just looks wonderful. And, I should have mentioned, too, that the cocktail is served in a wine glass. So if you can imagine a wine glass with this, beautiful, what's called Scotsman pebble ice, and then you have this, kind of pink floaty liquid in the glass, and then kind of the green from the mint to offset, plus the darker strawberry bringing out the red. So it looks great. And then on that ice, I just wanted that a little bit for dilution, but also for aesthetics.
For aesthetics. Okay, so in making this syrup, the rosé wine syrup, you've got 8 ounces of dry rosé wine, and then you are reducing it down and then adding some sugar to it.
Yes, absolutely. So you just it's really easy. You just put it on the in a pan on the fire for a few minutes, and then you'll see it, starts to reduce by about 1/3. And then you can either do by eye, but I always measure just to be sure. I'd measure that, and then I added, because I wanted what we call a rich simple syrup as opposed to regular.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So,
okay. Are you particular about what kind of sugar you use?
At times, but in this case, I decided to go for just plain, granulated sugar because I didn't want the flavor of the sugar affecting the taste too much in this instance.
Okay, you were real specific about cognac, and especially as I'm glad you mentioned VSOP to give people some more direction in case they couldn't get the brand that you had mentioned. But are you particular about the type of rosé sparkling wine or dry rosé wine for the syrup you use?
I tried a few, and to be honest with you, as long as it's of a good quality, I always say good quality. Something that you drink by the glass yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive. I used something that was under $15.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it was probably closer to 10 or 11, to be honest with you. But also for the color, I chose something that had a deeper pink hue, as opposed to the classic, there are ones that are certainly quite pale, which are delicious also. But for this instance, because I wanted that color to pop, I chose something that had a little bit more,
I agree with you.
More skin contact.
Yeah, I agree with you. The color would be so much of where it's at in the drink. And this competition was judged by international spirits expert David Broom, Tristan Stevenson, Bridget Albertson, certified cognac educator, and Patricia Richards.
Yes.
At the last year's summit conference in New Orleans. So how long have you known that you won this competition then?
I think I found out at the beginning of December, but the deadline was in September, so there was a couple of months of, hand-wringing and pacing back and forth.
Do you know how many people competed or entered a recipe for this?
I'll be honest with you, they didn't tell us.
Okay.
But it was open to any apprentice who'd been involved in the program. The program's been going for, I'd say, 5 years. So anybody who had ever been involved, and I know there are quite a few because it did extend the deadline, and I heard it was close, but I'm not sure how many.
Wow. Real quick, we're almost out of time. Have you always been in New York City, and what drew you to bartending?
Oh, well, that's a long, sordid tale. Now, I've been in New York City for quite a while. What drew me was, I'll be honest with you, I studied music. I'm actually a singer, and to get through college, I started working. It's classic. It was a classic story. But what actually drew me to bartending, as opposed to just serving, was I wanted a challenge. And I wanted to. And at the time, bartenders were making more money. And that was it. And then I started getting into craft bartending because, again, I kept wanting to challenge myself and, find out more and more about what was happening in the industry.
Are you an alto?
I am an alto, especially for me, this is first thing in the morning.
Yeah, my voice is lower in the morning also. I know what you mean.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, I know that you have some new, opportunities that are coming up for you here in the future. So please join us again in 2013 when you'd like to talk about what's going on.
I would love it, Lynn. Thank you so much for having me on the program.
Congratulations for winning. And we will have links up so that you can actually see her recipe and reproduce that yourself. You're listening to Wine and Dine. Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.